Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Today we're gonna talk about integrating animation with React Native. So before I introduce myself, let me explain what is React Native animation. It's the visual effect that can move, change, transform an element to make the interface smoother and more interactive. So what's the problem? Most of React Native applications today focus on features and put aside animations due to difficulty of implementations. So what is the solution? We have to find a good library that can help us to integrate animations. So today we're gonna explore together many kinds of animation that we can implement in our apps with no consuming a lot of time. So hello again, who am I? My name is Omar. I'm front-end developer. I've been working at Kamal Studio for more than 6 years. I'm from Tunisia. Last few years I worked on React Native applications with a lot of animations, which inspired this talk. So before we dive into the React Native animations, I want to explain two main threads in React Native, the JS thread and the UI thread. The JS thread is the one created by React Native. It contains all the logic of the app. This thread executes JavaScript using JavaScript Engine with Hermes on Android and Hermes or GSC on iOS. This thread is really deciding what to render on the screen. Here we have also the UI thread. This thread is handling all user interactions like touch or scrolls or swipe or anything. It's totally independent from the JS thread. Even if the JS thread is busy or blocked by calculating something, the UI thread still keeping smooth. So, and also this thread is responsible for taking actions for rendering screens. So here, I did an example to explain the role of the JS thread and the UI thread on React Native application. Here we have a blind boy, but he's smart. And we have, it presents the JS thread, and we have a big boy, but he's not very smart. And it presents the UI thread. Here, the big boy will tell the smart boy for every user interactions like touch or scroll or keyboard or in sensors. And the JS thread will think about it, decide what to do, and give commands to the UI thread like updating view, animations, or navigation. So here, I created my own manga using the last feature of Gemini. So I presented here the JS thread and the UI thread in this manga. So I will read it for you. Boy, user pressed logout button event, boy. Finally, you noticed that. Give it to me. Here, event sent. Otherwise, I will do the hard part. Tag session is deleted. Now show the login screen. Don't screw it up. Fine. Rendering login view. Good. Stay online. Okay. So let's move on to React Native Animated. Here, I did a benchmark to compare the existing solution for integrating animations. And I chose React Native Animated for many reasons. I compared with animated of React Native, which is so limited what it works, but it's so limited compared to React Native Animated. And also we have another libraries which are deprecated, and there is no update since 2 years, I think. So we choose this library for many reasons also. Optimal performance. So in React Native Animated, we execute animation using the UI thread, that dump boy. So it's not related to the JS thread, so the animation will be smooth. Also, it uses a powerful and flexible API. So we have do many kinds of animation at the same time. We can do also specific animations. So it's good. Also, this library is totally compatible with gesture handler. This library is developed by the same company, and it does the drag and drop things. This library we can use together with React Native Animated to do drag and drop with animation at the same time. Also, this library is actively maintained by Software Mention. It's a big company that maintain very open source project like Gesture Handler and React Native Animated. It maintains animation open source projects. So the library it's maintained and it has more than 9,000 stars in GitHub. Let's move on now to the list of components reanimated that we can use in our apps, like view, text, flat list, image scroll view, or we can create our own React Native reanimated component using create animated component by wrapping this function to our top component. Here, let's see the easiest animations that can do, like fade in, fade out, and then choose the directions. Also, we have linear transitions, sequential transitions, and many others different kind of animation. I will show you here. Here we did a demo app using React Native Expo, and FixUI, React Native FixUI. It's a library that can help us to create styled component with easy way. You don't have to pass style. I just need to put style directory with some shortcuts, let's say. So we have also in the project React Native reanimated. So the project is set up by those libraries. So here in this, for now, when I refresh my app, when I pass to the Pokemon tabs here or account tab, I don't have animation on header. We will use those easiest animation for this. So I'm gonna add a small animation on the header component without consuming a lot of time. So if we go to the header component that I already developed, I will go just to the top. Maybe wait a second. I don't need this. Also this I can do like this. Okay. This is the top component. I will just replace it by animated dot view. Also at the end, and I will just display this line, which is entering fade in up that we see dot duration 300 milliseconds. Now, when I refresh my applications and navigate between screens, I have a small cool animation on the header component, as you see. Now, for this listing, we're going to add the same thing, small animation, which add more value, and make it smoothly. So when I go to the Pokemon tab here, I don't have animation for the moment, but with some code, just go to Pokemon page, and I will go just to the animation card here, which is present each card in the listing, and I will do the same thing, just replace the top component with animated.view. Same here. And I will just replace display this line, which is entering fade in up with delay of 100 seconds multiplied by the index, which so that's allow us to display items one by one. So now it's like this. When I refresh my application and go to the Pokemon tab screen, so it's more beautiful like this. Also, we have another easy animation that we can add, like here in this flat list. It's a flat list. If we have two lists and we want to move element to the next list, when I click on it, for a moment we will not. It's not very smooth, so we don't understand what's really happening. If we just add an animation while item passing from the first list to the second list, it will be smooth. So I will go to the flat list row animation here. I have a flat list. I will just replace the animated the flat list by animate.flatlist here, and just display this line, which is using item layout animation props, and use the linear transition that we saw with the dot specific characteristic physical characteristics. And now when I click on the item, it will be moving with the animation. The only trick that you have to know to make this work is it's not really two different lists. It's one list, just one item separator. One item from this list should be the separator. So in your in our Pokemon row item, we should manage if it's a separator, we display it like a separator, and the rest display them as an item. We have here the same thing, the same list, exactly as the other one, just displaying differently. So we will go to the flat list animation. Here we have exactly the same thing. We will change it by animated.flatlist, and we will display the same line here. The only difference is here is that we have flex direction row and flex wrap. Then we add a gap. Also, we have to define the width of each item, and then it will work. Now, when I click on each Pokemon, it will be moving with animation. That's it. So here, how we can add a specific animation with React Native Reanimated. We have this step we have to do in every animations. First of all, we declare our animated variable. Then we transform the value using animated function. Then we apply that variable to a style function from our animated. Then we apply that style to an animated component. Then the animation will be executed natively. This is the most used animation type that we use on specific animations, with timing to execute animation after a precise time, with spring to do specific physical characteristics for animation, with decay to do animation with drag and drop. That's why we use gesture handler with sequence, with repeat, with delay. We can do whatever we want. Let's go to explain this. I will go to, for example, I will take the specific animation for move animation. Here we have a Pokemon. We just want to, when I click on this Pokemon, I want to move from the left to the right. I will go to move Pokemon to explain this. Exactly as we said, just we declare our variable animation, use shared value from animated. Then when I click to the Pokemon, we change the translation value, the variable, from 0 to 200 or to 200 to 0. It depends from depends of the old value, and then with duration 500. Then we apply this variable to our style function using use animate style from animated. Then we applied our animate style to our animate style to our animate.view component here. And then when I click on the Pokemon, it works. Exactly the same thing for rotation animation. When I click on this, it does like this. It's exactly the same thing. The only difference here that we use rotate instead of the other attribute. Then when I click on the Pokemon, we add 160 degree in duration of 1 second. Then we have the transformation animation. Here, this is a little bit higher, just because we do two type of animation at the same time. Let's go to transform animation. Here, what to do? Just we declare two variables at this time. One for the image size and one for the opacity. When I click on the Pokemon, first of all, I change the opacity from 1 to 0 with duration of 300 milliseconds. And when I finish this, I use here run on JS. As we said, while React Native reanimated execute animation on the UI thread, we can't keep using the JS thread only if we tell it to do it. So we have to run on JS thread, so we can execute this change Pokemon. On the change Pokemon, we change the Pokemon when I click on it. Then we change the size. Then after that, we change the size, of course, with animation using with Spring. And then after that, we will use the image opacity dot value. We make back the value of the opacity from 0 to 1, like this with duration 300 milliseconds. So here, when I click on Charmander, it will be Charmadon, then it will be Charizard with different size, different animation, different opacity at the same time. Next, we have the battle animation. The battle animation is it's good. So when I do like this, they start fight, then we have animation. Honestly, I do this with AI, but it's not very hard to explain. Battle animation. So here we have three animation for the first Pokemon: Pokemon position, scale, and rotation. Exactly the same for the second Pokemon. And we have the battle effect opacity, which is the animation for the which is happening here. And then if at the beginning we reset the values to the initial values, then we start the animation for the first Pokemon, also then for the rotation, and then for the rotation to make Pokemon come to each other like this, then for rotation to make the Pokemon shake, then the battle impact effect, which is happening like this, while adding sequence animation for to make the opacity 1 and back to 0, and also to make the scale bigger then it back to the initial scale. So that's it. And then we apply the variable to the use animate style for each Pokemon and the battle effect. Then we apply this battle effect style to this emoji to make this and the Pokemon, and for each Pokemon here to animated.image, which contain the image of the Pokemon. The last animation here, which is I did it with myself, not AI. It's a lot of animation for each Pokemon, but it's not too much. Let's go to the following Pokemon. Here, for each Pokemon, we will have animation for the Y position. So every Pokemon will start from the bottom to the top. Also the rotation, we have rotation, so each Pokemon rotation will change from the bottom to the top. Also the size of the left position. So we will have random speed so we can make the speed of the Pokemon. We have random size, random duration, also. But the Y position, it has to be fixed, so we can see a Pokemon disappeared in the middle of the screen, so it have to be fixed to the top of screen. Also the rotation here, we run the animation for the rotation, we run the animation for the size. So when Pokemon moving from the bottom to the top, the size will change at the same time. Also the left position and the top position to make the, the Pokemon move with animation. So we do when Pokemon arrive to the end, we start again using this use effect. Then we apply the style using animate style to only for the Pokemon. Then we apply the animate style to the animate.view component. That's it. Then we have an array of Pokemons. We display them one by one. So that's it. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you all. We have time for some questions if you have any question. No? Okay, fine. Oh, yeah.
If I have a set of animations, like let's say a running animation, how you do that in this React Native?
Can you repeat? Sorry.
If I got a set of animation like frame 1, frame 2, frame 3 for like a walking or some action.
Actions animation. I mean very specific animation.
Yeah. If I got a list of frames, then how do you would do that in this React Native?
So in this way, I think I have to do using another tool like Floaty or something else to do a very specific animation. Then we relate that to, it's not using React Native Animated, honestly. Yes.
Thank you, Omar, for this great presentation. But I have just a little question. I think that the list of Pokemon is a static list. You didn't use a dynamic list of Pokemons. But I think that if you are going to make a dynamic list using some columns for another API to retrieve data to make to get the elements, I think that this will influence in the duration and in the performance of the application. I don't know if that has a great impact or big impact in the good way or the bad way.
For me, at the beginning, we will not display animation before we take the data. So when we get the data, we start the animation. So for me, we will not affect the performance for this. But there is no problem, I think, to change the Pokemon at the same time. Even if we will get another Pokemon, it will not affect the performance. The only thing maybe is when we have a lot of animation at the same time, maybe that will affect the performance because the UI thread also has a limit, so it can't handle 1 million animation at the same time.
Any other question? No? Thank you, Omar.
Thank you.